out of the maze of darkness, iniquity, and evil that have bedeviled Africa for centuries. Therefore, we make no apologies. We have come that the blind may see. We have come that those who are deaf may hear. We have come that those who are living may continue to live and not fall under the machete, the bullets, and the knives of the terrorists that inhabit the Arewa Janjaweed territory of the Zoological Republic. Here we preach the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. There is nothing our enemies can do. They can threaten, they can huff, they can puff, but they can never blow the house down, I assure you. They know, they understand how relentless and remorseless we are in the pursuit of this very noble quest. Our enemies will attest to the very fact that this very IPOB, they have never seen a type like it before. Therefore, I commend this very noble family. I commend every coordinator. I commend every principal officer. I commend every leader. I commend everybody who wakes up in the morning to offer a prayer to God in heaven for the preservation of IPOB and for the restoration of Biafra. For only them can see the light. For only them can inherit the kingdom of God that is to come, which can only be found in Biafra. Therefore, I say to all of you who are listening this evening, that indeed you are very lucky. You are living in exciting times, a time of great change, a time of great hope, a time, of course, of great trepidation. But in the end, we shall prevail because we are IPOB, because we are the children of if you're not part of this very noble family, the Janjaweed from the Sahel will continue to wreak havoc, not only upon your lives, but also upon your destiny. Therefore, we must pray. We must call upon the Most High, because right now, in front of his throne in heaven is, of course, my father and my mother, because they believe very strongly that only the divine grace of the Most High shall restore Biafra. And that is why Biafra will come, because they have sacrificed their lives to ensure that those of us who are living shall be free. We must pray. We must pray. Wherever you are, you will lower your head. Everything that we are, everything that we have become, everything that we are likely to become, unto the capable hands of the Creator of the heavens and the earth. Father, today, as we begin our prayer in praise and worship of your holy name, for you say we are fearfully and wonderful made, according to the psalmist, according to the book of Psalms 139, chapter 14. We know this world is very hard. We know that existence in Nigeria is even harder. It's threatening to crush us every blessed day in far too many ways. Not just we, Biafrans, but every ethnic composition unfortunate enough to be lumped together by Lugard in the damnable contraption that they call Nigeria. Physically, we cannot always outrun the ailments of our bodies. Sickness and injury take hold upon us. We are not always healed to the original state of our health. Mentally, we are bombarded and pulled by unfiltered thoughts threatening to run away with all that we represent on a daily basis. Spiritually, you promised us a battle in this life. The Janjaweed from the north, the Alamajiri, the sponsors of Boko Haram, the terrorists who go into political office to wreak havoc and mayhem upon the lives of the defenseless. They are threatening our very existence, and you have decreed that Biafra will come, that your children may be saved from the iniquitous existence in the colonial British contraption designed to enslave, to cage, to ridicule, and to destroy your children. You must bring our hands to focus. We plead the Elohim, your truth at the start of each very day. We expect a battle. We will get a battle, but also your deliverance is near, because that is your promise. You are God. You never fail. The same way you were yesterday, you are today, and shall remain forevermore. Father in heaven, in overwhelming moments like these, when we are being overrun by Fulani headsmen, when we are having puppets being installed in Imo State to serve the whims and the caprices of the Fulani Caliphate, the moments like these, we seek your truth as we are reminded that you are our hiding place. You will protect us from troubles. You will surround us with songs of deliverance, according to the psalmist in the book of Psalms, chapter 32, verse 7. You will remind us of the greatness of our faith that have gone before us in bravery, with courageous faith in your protective hand of deliverance. We pray this very evening. David defeated Goliath against all odds, and even after being knocked, did run for his life from King Saul. He cried out unto you in faith, and you delivered him. Even after he made terrible mistakes, but you delivered David, loving him until the end. We remember those that have died and have fallen in this very effort. We remember those that have gone before us to shed their blood for our freedom. Oh, Heavenly Father, we commit them unto thy hands. Our faith shall sustain us. Our resoluteness, O Elohim, shall grant us victory in the end, because you will lead this very army. This very army will stand in front of them as we go into battle to confront the forces of darkness that have brought misery, death, and pain upon your children. Come and give us your grace. Come and give us your mercy, that Biafra may come in our time, that your will in heaven may be done upon the face of this earth, that every generation that will come after this will testify that there is God in heaven, that Chukwokika Biama presided over all the affairs of men, and that Biafra came because you decreed it, that Biafra came because that was your wish upon the lives of those that call upon your name in truth and in honesty, as this very noble IPOB family has done and will continue to do until the end of time. In the grace, in the exaltation and adulation of your holy name, now and forevermore, we pray. He said, we must preach this very gospel, the gospel of deliverance, the gospel of restoration, because without Biafra we are nothing. Today we expose the underbelly of the corrupt contraption. Today we continue to exercise a greater knowledge over the ignorance that pervades the entire damnable zoological republic. Today we shall lift the veil of corruption. Today we shall remove iniquity from the lives of those who have been condemned to live in mediocrity. We must preach this very gospel. because a lot is happening in the zoo. It is
he said to the prayer of Ohamadike.
It's our duty and our responsibility to bring this to the knowledge of the entirety of humanity, that heaven and earth may bear us witness that at this time, in this age, in this 2020, that this very gospel of truth was preached, that out of the ignorance of the many, the Janjaweed came down with their terrorist groups. They came down with Boko Haram. They came and visited us with their Fulani headsmen. ISIS in West Africa is slaughtering at will. Al-Qaeda in the Maghreb is there destroying lives. They branded them bandits and kidnappers in the north. But lives of people are ending in disgrace on the highways of the north. Every blessed day that is kidnapping everywhere. Terror all around us. And what have we done as a people? What have we done as the children of the Most High? We have done absolutely nothing. We complain and we do nothing. The same template that other people are today emulating was forced in captives of our mothers and our children and of those who are innocent. I was in the United States of America. I was in California, in Los Angeles to be precise. I asked for guns and I asked for bullets because I knew what was coming. I knew that death would come. I knew that the heavens have turned blood. I knew that darkness will envelop the land. I preached that very gospel and I told them. They did not listen. And today what is happening? The same thing they abandoned and said it will not work is what other people are copying, and our people have been left defenseless. The land of Biafra is the only place where there is no defense, if not for the bravery of the volunteer command of IPOB, who are on a daily basis sacrificing their lives to maintain and to ensure that our land is not overrun by the Janjaweed, by the Fulani illiterates from the north. Many horrible things are happening in the zoo. Very horrible things are happening on a daily basis. Your lives have become meaningless. Priests are being beheaded. Mothers are being kidnapped, raped. Pregnant women are having their children cut out of their stomach. Horrible and terrible things are happening. And nobody is doing anything about it. Nobody is saying anything about it because they are all frightened. They are all compromised. They are all corrupt. They are fearful of their tomorrow. But here we are not afraid to preach this very truth. Here we know that the truth must prevail. Whoever created Nigeria, that monster, that evil that created that den of death must be put to shame. They must be shackled and they will be put to shame, and Biafra shall emerge, and so with it, the freedom for all oppressed ethnic groups in that damnable zoological republic. They have abandoned their pattern dance 1, pattern dance 2, pattern dance 3 and 4 and 5 and 6, and who knows what else. What is happening in the zoo is an indictment of the very essence of being a Nigerian. If you claim you are a Nigerian, your stupidity and your idiocy is staring you in the face. What the Fulani Janjaweed have done to your lives is a demonstration that it is your natural right, obligation, and duty to rise up to oppose iniquity as represented in the government of the Fulani Caliphate you have in Asorok. This evening we shall lay them bare. This evening we shall expose them. This evening the world will know that the zoo has almost, it is gone and gone for good. I said that the zoo will fall, and it has fallen. When I call it a zoo, don't get upset. Look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, which human being with common sense will inhabit a country that is as spectacular a failure as Nigeria has become. Look at yourself in the mirror and tell me if you would belong to a country or wish your children to belong to a country where all the horrible and terrible things happening in Nigeria today obtain. Ask yourself that very simple question. You know now why we call that place a zoo. You will begin to understand it. In fact, I concede to my dear sister, who is an Hollywood actress, I've forgotten her name, who said that a zoo is a better place than Nigeria. It is about time that people become self-critical. When you become self-critical, believe me, you advance. That is why when Europe colonized the whole world, that is why they are advancing in every sphere of human endeavor, because they believe in self-criticism. When they are doing wrong, they criticize themselves, they get better. I do not understand why people who call themselves human beings, not just in Nigeria, but all across Africa, all we do is to wallow in self-pity. Nobody rises up in the morning to ask, why is it that we have abundance of coal, of natural gas, of wall-to-wall sunlight almost 24 hours every blessed day? Why do we have rivers? Why do we have all that means through which power can be generated? You have no electricity. That is an indictment of you as a human being. It means that your university education, your PhDs and all your degrees are entirely meaningless, because the things that your brain is supposed to utilize all the resources around it to produce, you're not doing it. Are Europeans with 2 or 3 heads? I'm asking you. Those who are advancing in Far East Asia, do they have 2 brains in their skull? They are human beings like we Africans are. But ask yourself this question: why is Africa not moving forward? Africa is not moving forward because of the level of mentality you find in a place called Nigeria today. This very evening, I want our people to try to be as reasonable as possible. Try to dissect and digest what you're being presented this evening, because our job, our duty, our responsibility is to open your mind, to allow you to reason properly, to open your eyes, that you can see very clearly, because Black Africans cannot reason very well. We don't see very well, we don't hear very well. This evening, I hope to be able, as we embark upon this very journey of enlightenment, we will begin to repent, to offer ourselves for deliverance. Because if you do not offer yourself for deliverance, you can never be delivered. It's impossible. As Nigeria is crumbling on a daily basis, or should I say suffering under the weight of self-induced lawlessness. Lawlessness brought about by a government who do not obey the law. Lawlessness brought about by a group of people who did not even study law, nor understand what jurisprudence is all about. These are people who are archaic. These are people with a feudal mindset. These are people who can never, not in this world, not in the next, will they ever attain the height of greatness. Impossible. They are the ones in charge of your lives. That is why a Supreme Court can sit down, and when INEC is telling them that 850-something thousand people voted, a Supreme Court will sit down and tell you that the votes cast is over 900,000. And people are walking about and moving about, pretending everything is normal. That is what I find incredulous, absolutely debilitating in terms of those who still retain some semblance of reasoning capacity. I do not understand it. If people just move along as if everything is okay, and I keep asking myself, why are Black Africans like this? Why are the so-called Nigerians like this? Why can't you reason for once in your life and ask God in heaven to give you common sense? Nigeria was only created in 1914. Ask yourself, what was your identity before 1914? Who were you before 1914? Who is your grandfather? Who is your grandmother? Who is your great-grandfather? Does it mean that your life never had any meaning, the existence of your culture no relevance, until a white man descended from their boat in Badagry in Lagos and named you Nigeria? Can you begin to reason like human beings for once? I pray and I beg of you. When you see us so poor, our roads are not being built, no hospitals, no good schools, people are lamenting. There is no need lamenting. Ask yourself, what have I done to encourage this reign of iniquity and impunity in the land? It is your silence. Because I believe that some of us are actually born into evil. That is why some of you gravitate towards what is bad, what can never be remedied. I understand today they said some local chiefs in Imo State, I don't know who paid them. Of course, somebody said they're faceless. Can a human being created by God in heaven, given common sense, went to primary school, to secondary school, to a college somewhere to do their A-levels, and then went to university, you have a degree. And you're telling me that Hope Uzodinma should be in office. I cannot for the life of me understand it for 1 second. I cannot begin to understand it because it not only defies common sense, it is illogical. It is immoral before man and before God. What it means is that the Fulani Caliphate are in control of all our lives. If a governor misbehaves, they take him out and they put the puppet in. I'm saying this because of all those psychophants, all those idiots who are gravitating around Hope Uzodinma. I'm saying it, it is not about Imo State. It is not even about Igbo land. It is not even about Biafra as a whole. It's not even about Nigeria. It is about humanity and doing what is right before God in heaven and man on this very earth. We shall come back to that later. Some of you don't know that your people are dying. I'm making this address this evening to World Igbo Congress in the USA. They are the primary audience this evening. Of course, we know the whole world is listening, including some professors in universities across Argentina. We know they love Radio Biafra. We know that very much. I am asking you to go back to the broadcast I made sometime in 2015. When I was in the US, I was asking you for guns and for bullets. Some of you said, oh no, Nnamdi wants to start a war again. I said, no, I have seen what is to come. What you have in Nigeria are not prophets. Everything I tell you is gospel. Don't tell me, ask me how it's possible. It is simple divine revelation. If you go through the things that I have told you in the past, all of them, some of the events of today have surpassed my own predictions. I went to World Igbo Congress. They are called World Igbo. I said to them, give me guns and give me bullets because these murderers are coming. They are coming to kill us. They will kill us. These people, they are coming to take over our land. Let me even try and see if I can find, I think I asked the deputy today to try and circulate this very broadcast. The one that I made before, very, very important. I don't know if people are listening via our app. I don't know if they are listening via our app because I'm getting reports here that some people are losing connection. I don't know how to, that is, of course, we know we have so many enemies. They are trying, they are fighting very hard, but they are losing. It's just like Trump. Forget all the nonsense, all the media hype, all the rubbish. At the end of the day, the people are with him the same way with POP, the same way with this very position that I occupy. Forget all the nonsense you're hearing. Oh, this person said this from a job. We are not Biafra, we are rubbish. Go to the ground and ask the people that will tell you that their heart, their mind, their soul, and their body is with this very IPOP. They recognize the importance, the relevance, and the great work that IPOP is doing. I went to America and I said to our people in the USA, give me guns and give me bullets. The zoo, being very clever, of course, advised by the British, said, oh, charge him with treasonable felony. He wants to cause a war. I said, no. Today, don't you have Amotekun in Yoruba land? They will carry guns. Today, you have something called, is it LAND.WE in the north? I don't know what they call it. They said they formed it 2 days ago. Is it not something I was saying to World Igbo Congress? Today, as I'm speaking to you, our houses are destroyed in Ebonyi. Our defense in Ebonyi cannot stretch for the number of miles that the Nigerian army and their backup, the Fulani bandits and the terrorists are attacking on a daily basis. Some of you don't know this. When you see it, in fact, Chinasa give it to Amaka. I want it distributed now to let our people know what is happening in Ebonyi. They don't understand what is happening in Ebonyi. And sometimes I feel sorry for the governors. I never thought I'd hear myself say this. I feel sorry for them. You have seen what happened to Hedyo. For hosting one Ahijoko lecture, he was one Ahijoko lecture. And somebody, I don't know if it was Obio Kola or was it a moderator who was interviewing him, asked him, said, why is it that any time people gather from the east, the north will get very jittery? Just one Ahijoko lecture and one birthday party for Mbasuri Beji. That is all. Our dear father, of course, he's our father. Only one birthday party. And they said, Hedyo must go. He's trying to bring the people together. He must go. And some people in Imo State will have the temerity to open their mouth to talk rubbish and say that, oh, Puso should be in Douglas House. But we are coming for all of you, one after the other. Mad, insane people. It's nothing to do with, I don't know who Emeka Hedyo is, I don't want to know. I don't give a damn who they are. In fact, they're all the same thing. They're all Abuja brought up. They're all the same. But what is right is right. This IPOB stands on the side of justice all the time. I said justice all, regardless of who is involved. When I was in detention, some of you may have forgotten, I fought for the release of so-called Boko Haram suspects because I knew those young boys from Niger State were innocent. I fought for them. Some of you may have seen the clips. When I used to go to Federal High Court in Abuja, I used to stand in, I called the journalists and I called the parents of these boys suffering at the hands of the DSS. Inhumane conditions are being kept. I asked them to speak up, and some of them were released as a result of that. We fight injustice regardless of who is affected. Regardless. And what is happening in Imo is a travesty. It's a shame on Imo people, not just on Imo people, on the entire Igbo race. It's a shame on the entire nation of Biafra, on all of us, on everybody. It is a shame because, as I warned you before, if it goes in through one ear, it comes out of the other one. Somebody, they're scamming us. So look at this Biafrans. What are they doing? They're scamming us. But today they're slaughtering you. And everything I said, has it not come to pass? Have they not abandoned the north to be circulating in my village? Yet some of you cannot reason. A war is going on in the north. Terrorists are taking over local governments in the north. And the so-called army designed, equipped to fight them, they need some perambulating. As it is normal. That shows the extent of depravity in your brain. That shows you in a very bad light. That shows you why you were colonized by the Europeans. That shows you why Africa is the bottom of the pile in the whole world in terms of human development and progress. Because there is a part of your brain that is pure darkness and evil. Anywhere you see evil, you go there. Like Loretta and Onochie, that's what woman's name is. Anywhere you gravitate to. In fact, I'm happy to say that the European media used to do that before. Anywhere they see evil from Fulani, they go and they support. Now they have repented. Now they have changed. Because it has affected them. I'm sure it has affected these families as well. It's big news. They can't control their space. That God may hear. My witness. That start. Nobody will come and say, of course, we are not anymore. Their own job they have published. Nobody possible. We are unstoppable. This train is unstoppable. If you stand in the way, you'll be crushed. Ask the zoo what they are going through. They will tell you. They will tell you. This is for what they are called. I'll come to the rest of the Biafrans later on. But these are the main culprits. This is what I'm addressing this to them. I want to tell you what is happening in the zoo called Nigeria to our people, to Biafrans all over the place. This is not big news. Why is it that Fulani terrorists hijacking GUO? Some of you know who GUO is. They operate what is called a luxurious bus. It's a coach from the north to the east, from the north to the west. There's also Ezenwata. They did not just abduct GUOs, they abducted a luxurious bus carrying Biafrans in that boarded Ezenwata luxurious bus. They also took Young Shall Grow. But none of you know some of this. Some of us are on Facebook and yapping, talking rubbish, on Instagram, writing junk. Whereas Fulanis are teaching us is a new version of this is not just coronavirus, it's just something very similar but even more deadly. They are now all the luxurious buses coming from the north, they take them. These are the ones that people manage to escape. 1 or 2 persons to raise alarm. And the police are speaking about it. Not running after the terrorists, not running after the bandits and the kidnappers. No. They're in Eastern Africa in my village. And you're telling me that such a country deserves to exist. You're telling me that a country that is, that quite literally abandoned their commitment, their obligation, their constitutional duty to fight armed insurgency, left it and is perambulating in a village organizing a burial for their traditional ruler. Can you believe that? Can anybody in their right senses, any human being that has brain in their skull, comprehend such absurdity? They cannot. But I want to tell you why some of you condone it. I want to tell Nigerians why they condone evil. You condone evil because inside you, you are naturally bad. You are evil yourself. As I said earlier, I'm very glad that Yoruba newspapers, they have now repented. They have now seen the light. They have not seen the truth. What we are preaching is the truth. Nobody hates. I do not hate anybody. Before God and heaven and man, I don't hate anybody. But when you bring your reign of terror, when you bring your nepotism, when you bring your wayo to try to deceive people, we tell you no, it cannot happen. Not in this very generation of IPOB, it cannot happen. Have you seen how they quickly rushed and opened Iguacha Seaport? Calabar Warri? Have you seen it? Do you know why they have opened it? It's because of the work being done on this very platform by this very radio station, by this very glorious worldwide family of IPOB, by what we have done. And of course, in part, to punish the Yoruba for forming a Moteko. World Igbo Congress in America, when Nnamdi Kanu was asking for guns and bullets, I want to tell you the result of your failure. I want to tell you the result of your failure, collective failure, individualism gone crazy. All of you think only about your family. What, you know, my son is now in Yale. This one is in Stanford University. You forget the reason why you traveled abroad in the first place is to help those who are at home, not just your immediate family. The reason why God gave you the grace to travel abroad to see the light is to come and save those who are at home. It is also in the scriptures. Some of you don't, it is in the scriptures. Those that came back to, it was Joseph who was sold that came back to rescue the family from famine, took them to Egypt. When you're sent abroad for a purpose. You have a purpose. That purpose is not to train your 1 or 2 or 3 children to become relevant or to become mighty society where they are. No, it's to help those who are at home, to bring that knowledge, that know-how and that expertise to alleviate the suffering heaped upon those who cannot help themselves. That is your job. I went to America, I went to Los Angeles, and I addressed them. I told them, this is what is to come. They said no. Today,
GU or luxurious bus. How many people are in luxurious bus all the time? At any one time? It's a matter. Young shall grow. These are the ones we know. It is happening in Nigeria. And some people, some Biafrans that are opening their mouths to say, oh, we need to maintain unity. We need to. In that unity, you are dying. In that unity, luxurious buses are being abducted. People are being killed on a daily basis. Priests are being murdered. Our own children are being buried in Kaduna. The latest priest that they beheaded, they killed, the seminarian, has been buried in Kaduna, which is an abomination against our culture and our way of life. After seeing what is going in that, I don't use Donald Trump's words, because it's a family radio station. After observing what is happening in Nigeria, you are telling me that somebody that has or claim to have common sense will rise up and tell you that they believe in one Nigeria. Let's work for unity. I am telling you that you are the personification of evil. If you can stay in a country where people who are traveling, innocent people, on a bus, the bus was hijacked. Did they hijack any Dangote trailer? Did they hijack any of their transporters at the north? No, it is the ones belonging to Biafrans that they hijacked. You're right. This your Biafra is a scam. This is your doing. You're talking rubbish. They janja with it to remain. People who they say, oh, Nnamdi is very vulgar. What I tell you the truth. There's something that accused Trump of. The ordinary people understand what we are preaching, that we are preaching the truth. Ordinary people understand it. J.U. Omoto says and what a young Shagro, they're all gone. It's not from me, it's from their Zoo newspaper. The Nigerian police on Monday said J.U. and what a young Shagro was we are taking on local road. People missing. Mothers being killed left, right, and center. Ebony under siege. And what are you people doing about it? Absolutely nothing. You come and you will tell me that somehow it is good. Let's remember, for those belonging or campaigning, or should I say, arguing for Nigeria to be sustained in its present form, go and say that to the 4 seminarians abducted from Kaduna. I was talking about Nnamdi Michael. He was found dead. He's a follower of Christ in an area where they said it is haram to do so, and he's been killed because those around him believe in one Nigeria. If not for one Nigeria, will he be in the north doing seminary work? He's been killed. What will Khan do? Nothing. If he provoke us, we'll do something. We've been hearing it for nearly 18 years, and nothing has happened. When we preach on this platform the simple truth, you say some people say they want to open 4,000, no, not 10,000 churches. You see how mad some people are. They call themselves preachers in the zoo. They go and they mount the pulpit and they talk rubbish. They collect tithe every Sunday. That is why in fact, when I pray, I will pray to God to tell my mother and my father what he put in the brain of black people, to be honest with you. People are dying in the zoo every blessed day, kidnapped, anarchy everywhere. As I told them, if some of you can recall my interview with Sahara reporters, I said, if you do not give us, write it down. If you do not give us Biafra, Somalia will be a paradise compared to Nigeria. I said it. Have you not seen it? Today, Nigeria is a worse Somalia. Go and check the terror index. As I told you, it will happen. When we say this, because some of you, you knew when we were going to school, when we grew up, you don't, I'm not, I didn't open a Pentecostal church, so you don't feel that understand, but I appreciate what we're doing, what we're saying. But everything we say comes, I said it. Biafra is the key. If they don't let Biafra go, believe you me, Chukwuka Biama will destroy Nigeria beyond recognition. that what will happen in Nigeria, people will be wondering how is that possible.
Write it down on this day, February 8, 2020.
That is what I said. February 8, 2020. If they don't give us, sit down and watch what is going to happen to Nigeria.
You think what is happening now is lawlessness? The real one is coming. The real lawlessness is coming because God, people say, oh, God told me, God, yes, I'm telling you. Because everything I say comes to pass. I told them when I went to America, when I was at World Labour Congress, I was telling the whole world that they are coming. Did you believe me? When I told you that they were coming, did you believe me? Have they not come? When I told you that Nigeria will be worse than Somalia, did you believe me? Go and check the terror index. It is there. In black and in white. Nigeria is a more dangerous place to live in than... We're not even started though. Some of you don't know what is in store for you. When it happens, I will tell you, I told you so on February 8, 2020. If you support one Nigeria, believe you me, Nigeria will consume you. You will be eaten alive. You will be eaten, you will be alive and breathing, and your flesh will be torn off your body. One of the 4 abducted Kaduna seminarians, his name was Nnadi Michael.
He was found dead. One Nigerian. Let's move forward in diversity. He was diversifying in Kaduna, and they killed him there. Now, let me ask people one question. And also for Yoruba journalists who write junk, of course, we are now friends. Of course, Yorubas are my brothers now, so I won't say anything against them. But I'm just saying, there are still some from Kwara State. With due apology. There are some remnants, some die-hard Fulani apologies from Kwara. They're in Lagos, somewhere. Still writing junk against Biafra and trying to promote their one Nigeria. And I have this question for them. Nnadi Michael is an able man. I'll call him a man, of course. He's trying to become a priest. He was killed in Kaduna. And some of you know it is actually an abomination to bury one of us outside our ancestral home. Some of you don't know this, but I refer you also back to the scriptures, I call it the Torah. Forget about all this thing there. But for the purpose of should I say, broad understanding, let me say the Bible. Even when Jacob died in Egypt, they took him back to the same land of his father, of Abraham. The same land of his father, Isaac. Have you not noticed? They don't bury us abroad. My mother died in Germany. She was flown back to be buried in the land of her ancestors. Do you understand that? That is who we are. But this Nnadi Michael has been buried in Kaduna. We are praying for God to forgive us of the crimes we have committed. We even committing more abomination on top of it. He's been buried in a seminary ground in Kaduna. Who killed him? Let me ask this question to Yoruba people. Yoruba, not all of you, those who have not yet repented, still the very bad ones amongst you. Let me ask you this question. Do you think that if Biafrans took up arms and formed a terror group, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4, what would you do? Every Biafran would have been killed, everybody slaughtered. I remember DW, Dutch Fella, coming to interview me, saying, are you not putting the lives of Biafrans at risk in the north by this your agitation? Mere agitation for Biafra. They gave us witnesses in the north. If we hijack 2 or 3 buses containing Fulani people and slaughter them, throw their bodies in River Niger, what do you think will happen to us in the north? I'm asking Yoruba journalists this very question. What do you think will happen to Biafrans in the north? If it were Biafrans that formed Boko Haram, Fulani headsmen, ISIS in West Africa, Al-Qaeda in the Maghreb, tell me what would have become of us. There will be no single Biafran existing. They will kill everybody. But Fulani are the principal funders of 4 major terror groups in the world. On top of that, they're telling you who's going to be president and who's going to be vice. Now, I want you, as I keep saying, go and look at yourself in the mirror. As you're looking at yourself, you should be asking God, why did you create me so stupid? And by so doing, put me in Nigeria. Go to the mirror and believe me, you will change. By tomorrow, you become a better person. Go to the mirror, look at yourself and ask yourself, God, why did you make me so stupid that I am part of one Nigeria? I ask you again, listen carefully to my question. All of you clamoring for one Nigeria, talking rubbish against IPOB, which I love anyway. I love criticism, believe me, I love it. It supports me on every blessed day, I love it. Ask yourself, if it were the Igbos or the Jaws kidnapping Yoruba people, kidnapping Fulani, kidnapping Hausa, kidnapping Brgie, and killing them at will, raping their mothers, cutting off their head, saying, what do you think everybody else would do? Simple question. You can't answer. One little coup in 1966, organized by the officer class from every tribe, every ethnic group in the zoo, they conducted a coup. After that coup, should I say failed, they used it as a pretext to slaughter 300,000 Biafrans in the north. 300,000 were killed in the north. A coup that involved the death of a few people. But look at Boko Haram. When they started, their signature attack was St. Michael's Church. What's it again? Is it Mobi? St. Michael's Catholic Church. They know that Biafrans go there to worship. They attacked it. There was their signature outing. I think it was Christmas Day bombing. Was it 2000 and I've forgotten the year. I think Deputy will remind me in a second. Remember it? People died. We brought them back to Anambra. We are crying and saying, oh, the family has been wiped out. Oh, can you see there are no more? After that, we foolishly packed our bags and went back to the north. Today, what they are now doing is, since you're not here, they wait for you on a bus. As you're coming back, they offload you and they kill you. All you do is you go to Channels TV, you go to AIT, you go to one of those idiotic talk shows you have in the zoo that makes no sense. And you'll be there talking rubbish. We need to move this country forward. We need to look at insecurity in the country. All of you are frightened to say that it is the Fulani who are doing the killings. You are frightened to say the truth. You are frightened to say that the Fulanis are savages. These are savages from the darkest recesses of hell. You cannot say it because you're all cowards. Those of us in IPOB risking our lives, doing everything we can to enlighten the whole world about what is happening. You're saying, this thing that they are doing, that shows your level of stupidity and idiocy. I've heard some of them speaking or talking at a gathering somewhere in Lagos regarding what is happening in Imo State. Governor of Imo State. And people just, some call him Excellency. And I said to myself, no, this is not the Igbo race. This wasn't the Igbo race that we read about that Professor Donatille taught me about. This is not, these are chaff. This is not, you want to have this is not the Igbo race. It's not, God forbid. The original Igbo race never tolerates evil. Never, I said never. They never tolerated evil, regardless of who you are. They never, ever tolerated evil. Some people are calling Hopos of them Excellency. And you're telling me that these are Biafrans, they have the blood of our ancestors in their veins. Is that what you're telling me? Of course not. Stop. They have killed the seminarian, he's dead. His name is Nadi Michael. Dead, abducted them, and they slaughtered them. And tomorrow you talk about one Nigeria. Let's move our country forward. I say, may shame be your portion now and forevermore. Shame befall you and befall your family and your household. You are evil. Anybody preaching one Nigeria is evil. It's working for Lucifer. You are evil. You are Satan incarnate. shall go with you. May what Nnamdi Michael went through, may your children suffer it, may your grandchildren suffer it, may they be beheaded at the hands of Fulani, wild beasts and terrorists in the north. Listen carefully. I preached before for World Igbo Congress in America. This very next item we are going to look at is for the zoo, those that call themselves Nigerians. Those who sat there, they are there. Their house is burning. They are killing their military in Borno, seizing their vehicles, overrunning villages. The same army, the same Nigerian army, with their one-star general, is in my village patrolling. Patrolling the venue of a funeral service, burial ceremony. Burial ceremony. Now I want people to begin to appreciate the depth of evil in the zoo. You are telling me that ISIS in West Africa, they call them ISWAP, they killed 3 soldiers, 3. They seized 2 military vehicles in Borno. This is according to their paper in the zoo, Punch. Nothing is happening in the north. The soldiers who are meant to be fighting insurgency is in my village, in my compound, patrolling, circulating every day. And you're telling me that such a place is a nation, is a country, that they deserve to have a flag flying. A country of supposedly 200 million people. Are you telling me that 200 million people can be so daft and useless at the same time? Is that what you're telling me? That 200 million people can be so stupid that terrorists are killing your soldiers. Those soldiers are in a peaceful, quiet village in Biafra land, perambulating. And when I say there's something wrong with the brain of a black man, people don't understand it. Their vehicles were seized in Borno. The fighters from the Islamic State of West Africa province, they stormed into the town of Askira late on Friday. That was last week. They went in a dozen pickup trucks, guns blazing everywhere. Nobody is holding them responsible. Nobody is blaming the Fulani for what is happening. They closed your borders in the south. That is how stupid the south is. So useless, so pathetic and so useless. They come, they shut your borders in the south. They open their borders in the north. Nobody knows who is a Nigerian citizen anymore or not. Terrorists are coming in their droves, abducting and killing you. And you come out the next day. Let's work on the security of the nation. Let's try and bring the nation together. I don't think you're a human being. All of you that think that way. All of you. None of you are, honestly. The military is in the north killing people. No, the terrorists are killing them in the north. They themselves are busy killing people who are unarmed in the east. I cannot rationalize this. I cannot understand it. There is war front, there is war raging. Their mothers and their wives are in IDP camps where the soldiers are raping them. Is there in the news? You know this very well. Instead of those from the north to recall their army in Biafra and say to them, what are you doing there? The battle is here in the north. They left them. Oh, he's Nnamdi Kanu. He wants to stop us from taking oil money and gas money from Biafra land. And you're looking at Nnamdi Kanu, looking at IPOB. The more of you end up in IDP camps, the more your local governments are taken. But if you recall all those soldiers they put along all those checking points, all those idiotic places that they occupy, maybe you stand a chance of defeating insurgency. You don't know that God is miraculous. You don't know that we serve is miraculous. As you're busy in Biafra and roaming around aimlessly like the idiots that you are, your land is being ravaged by terrorists, being taken. If you don't know, that is how daft they are in the zoo. A bunch of hopeless people. When I call them a zoo, they say, oh, he's insulting us. He's insulting. I'm not insulting you. I am telling you the truth. Tell me a country where their soldiers are being killed, helicopters being shot down,
villages being sacked, ravaged. You allow somebody will sit in their office in Abuja at the military command and I say, today we are deploying soldiers now to Nnamdi Kanu's compound in Isiama Faruku. What is the reason? Is there any war going on there? No. They're about to bury their parents. Let's go there and fight a war. God in heaven. And you claim you have brain in your skull? You're telling me that all those ambassadors that they have in Nigeria, somebody's telling me that all those, the German ambassador, the British, don't they see all these things? The US ambassador, don't you people see this travesty going on? Are you blind to the idiocy of the zoo, what they are doing? Are you that foolish that you cannot see what is happening in the zoo? You give them support. Mike Pompeo gave them 40 million a few days ago to support them in the north in what they are doing. But the 40 million is being spent sending troops to a peaceful area to go and kill innocent people, whereas terrorists are in the north ravaging the whole place. And you're telling me that such people are human beings? And is that what you're trying to convince me? You're telling me that we Africans, we are normal? You think I'm going to pet you, oh, I'm black and proud? Rubbish. Your brains are empty. You cannot reason. Because if you can reason very well, there is no way you produce cocoa in Africa and import chocolate from Western Europe. If your brain is normal, there is no way you can have all the natural and mineral resources you have in Africa and you're drowning in the Mediterranean. There is one simple reason for it. We are daft to the core. What did you say? Oh, I have PhD. I went to this school. I went to that. Your brain is empty. The collective is what matters. Collective, not you as an individual. A lesson that World Go Congress must learn. A lesson they ought to learn. They're in America, I am I'm a pharmacist, I'm a doctor, I'm a nurse. I run my own business. Just you. The day you die, your children will go and marry Mexicans and your name will be gone forever and ever. Mad people everywhere. They are Benin. Kidnappers open fire, abduct passengers on Lokoja Abuja Highway. Vanguard newspaper. These are what I'm telling you. You know, before they will say they fabricated the story. It's a Biafrans. They are fabricating story. It's from their paper in Nigeria, Nigerian newspaper daily. Vanguard. Kidnappers open fire, abduct passengers on Lokoja Abuja. Why can't the army in Biafra and the army in my father's compound? Why don't they go and patrol those? That is their job. Go and patrol Lokoja Abuja Highway. They won't. Because they are all in the same game together. They are all terrorists, all of them. They have one agenda to Islamize and to enslave all of us. Forget all their nonsense. Once in a while, Sultan of Sokoto will come out. We need to maintain tolerance, all of us. They know what they are doing. How they go, okay? Of course. They are chewing you away, alive, and they are blowing soothing breeze. One person is a Buratai is there conducting or waging a jihadi war against Biafrans. And they bring us Sultan. We are one people, religious unity. That buffoon go on. Well, let's pray for one Nigeria. His own village is gone. If you doubt me, go and ask T.Y. Danjuma. Is Plateau not gone? Of course it's gone. They've taken it over. It's gone. Because they were busy fighting their friends from the east instead of facing the raw enemy from the north. They say police fight back, rescue some passengers, arrest 4 kidnapper members or whatever they call it, people belonging to the gang. But nobody, you cannot hear Wole Soyinka or somebody ask. Or their Senate House or whatever rubbish they call it, House of Reps, ask the question. If we are having insecurity in the north, people are being abducted and being killed, beheaded every blessed day. What is the army doing in Isiama Faruku at the home of Nnamdi Kanu? What is the army doing there? Let the army justify what they're doing there. But they won't ask.
And that is why they are dying. They think that they can mock God. Do you know who God is in heaven? Watch and see what is going to happen. Zoo will be decimated. Write it down now. I don't believe in. I'm not on Baka or any of these idiots. Brand envelope prophecy. What I tell you is what is going to happen. I speak with the divine authority from heaven. I'm telling you that the zoo, you see, God in heaven will destroy Nigeria beyond recognition. Write it down in a piece of paper. It's called implosion from within. They will eat their own flesh. What I tell you is from heaven, direct. In fact, you should give that clip to Amaka to distribute so that we hear it. In 2015, I said it. I made it very, very clear to the whole world that it's coming. I warned you about ISIS before they came. Didn't I warn you about what is going to happen? In 2015, let me see if I can actually find the clip and play it, that the world may bear us witness. Yes, thank you very much, Solomon. Sorry, St. Teresa Catholic Church in Madala, I remember. St. Teresa's, 25th of December, 2011, when they planned to get rid of Jonathan. President Goodluck Jonathan was in office. This was the opening salvo that we have come. You must be gone. I went to Sweden. Some of you don't know I went to Sweden. I spoke to a very powerful journalist in Sweden. I asked him what is happening. He said, oh, Jonathan cannot tackle the insurgency and the terrorism with an ex-general who can do it. I said, from here in Sweden, you know an ex-general who can do it, and it's Buhari. At that time, I knew, of course, what the zoo does best. They have shared all their money. I keep saying it all the time. The reason why the US ambassador, UK High Commissioner, EU ambassador to Nigeria, the reason why they don't file accurate reports back to their home country is because once you assume that position, they give you money. $1 million in an account somewhere, offshore account. They give you all the details and you go there and you take your money. So they can be killing people beside the US embassy in Abuja. They will never file that report to their home country. They won't go to state government in America. Never. People can be. Some of you saw what they did to the Shia protesters. Army came out of broad daylight, lined up, and was firing at innocent people. We fought and fought and fought to separate that all over the world. No way. America called their embassy in Abuja and asked them, is this report true? They said no, that the video is a doctored video. The erstwhile US ambassador, that the video was doctored. This is what is happening in the zoo. All these ambassadors, tell me any other country in the world, the level of insecurity you have in Nigeria today, and nothing is happening. It is only the effort we are making that is making the US State Department and Trump to even speak, to say, oh, we are going to defend Christians and all that. No, we want to maintain peace in Nigeria so that the region will not collapse. Who told you the region will collapse? What was the region like before Lugard came? We want to go back to where we were before you came from Europe to colonize useless, hopeless Africans. Yeah, I know some of them will start cussing now and run away from the truth. But it's the truth. I'm telling you the gospel truth. You are all there. I'm in Nigeria. Where is my flag? Where is my badge? I'm in Nigeria. We Nigerians, be patriotic. Are you not ashamed of yourself? Are you not ashamed of yourself? I'm asking you. So you're telling me that a man can come from Europe and come to your land and tell you who you are. And I ask you again. Before Lugard came, before 1914, what nationality was your grandmother or your grandfather or your great-grandfather? You can't answer, can you? Because you're black, you're stupid, and you're dumb. Your brain is sealed with idiocy. You cannot reason. That is why you're proud to answer the name of a country created by a white man. Shame on all of you that call yourselves Nigerians. Shame on all of you. I say, they are killing people. No wonder they are killing people in the north, and the army is in Islam for the patrolling. That portrays, or should I say, betrays your idiocy. There are bandits hijacking luxurious buses. They are burning our market. Some of you still pretend, oh, every market is on fire. Oh, but the market is on fire. Oh, the market is on fire. So you don't know they're all coordinated terror attacks by the Muslims, by the Fulani terrorists. You don't know that? Not by the Muslims, please. Don't get me wrong. Not Muslims, but by Fulani terrorists using the name of Islam to commit impunity, burning down our markets, timber shade everywhere on fire. They had their cattle towards timber shade on the market. In the night, they go and they light it. If you catch them, they'll call the GOC of 82 Division, Haruna Musa. They'll release him immediately, release him, he released. Those arrested that went to Uzo 1 to kill people, but they not release all of them. In Anambra, if you kill one of us, you give us 500,000, according to Governor of Anambra State, Obiano. And some of you are walking about as if everything is normal. And you're telling me that your brains are correct. Oh dear. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. The zoo is crumbling, it is on fire. Of course, why won't it be on fire? They are playing with us. Our mission is divine. God in heaven sent us to do this very work we are doing. That is why Biafra must come. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter the amount of propaganda. It doesn't matter the amount you use to bribe all the foreign missions in Abuja and in Lagos. It doesn't matter if you bought over CNN, bought over Financial Times, bought over Telegraph in the UK. It doesn't matter if you have bought over Associated French Press, AFP. It doesn't matter. In the end, Biafra will come. It doesn't, I'm being honest. Remember when we started, I used to tell people that it doesn't matter what you do. We'll get to where we're going. Today, they have seen the light. Do you think IPOB do you think anybody can stop us? Let's be very serious. Do you think anybody can stop us? Nobody can. Not even that wretched slave Okon says he's the CP of Abia State, called Police Commissioner. And IPOB should not come to Isiaba Farouk. They shouldn't come to Umai. They've been designated a terrorist group. The idiot is there and the Fulani headsmen are killing people in his village. He is wearing police uniform in Omai, talking like an animal without a brain. These are the idiots that we have. His name is Okon. He's a Biafran. But he needs to serve his masters in the north. And sometimes I begin to wonder, how did the Fulanis actually manage to get people in this position? How did they manage to do it? How?
Yes, Biafrans, thank you so much for listening. You are hearing the voice of Ohamadike 1 of Biafra land, the hero of our freedom, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. This broadcast that you heard was made as at 2020, a year before he was kidnapped. And all the things that our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have said here, all of them are happening. They are happening. They are happening everywhere. Everybody can testify. Everybody can bear witness to what is happening today, that our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have said it times without number. The authorities look the other way around when the terrorists are killing you. The terrorists are in Biafra land. The terrorist army and police are in Biafra land. Why the real terrorists are in Sokoto, in Zamfara, in Borno, in Katsina, in Kwara, in the Middle Belt, killing people, and the people that are supposed to protect them are in Biafra land, looking for Biafran defense forces, terrorizing our people. And those of them, most of them that are in Biafra land, their villages are being run over in the north. And our leader told them, you are in Biafra land looking for IPOB, looking for Biafrans, looking for defense forces, and your communities are being taken over. By the time the terrorists finish with you in the north, and we deal with you in the south, you have no place to run to. These people don't want that. They have one other. Yeah. 1 minute. They have one agenda, and that agenda is Islamization.
How did they manage to do it? Some of you are just moving about aimlessly and sheepishly on a daily basis without the capacity to reason or to think for yourselves. Very, very sad indeed, I say. Extremely sad. Extremely sad, I'm telling you. Very, very sad indeed. Oh, come. They shouldn't come. But Fulani herdsmen are going about killing people every day. In Abia State, you've done nothing. They rape, they kill, they pillage. You do nothing. It's peaceful IPOB coming for burial. There, you want to come and stop us now. But I'm saying this live on air to the whole world so they know. So that when you want to call me a terrorist, you can say it with every ounce of conviction. I am saying this to the governor, I won't say the governor, to the Commissioner of Police in Abia State, Mr. Okon. I'm saying it so the world can hear. If anything happens to any IPOB member on the 14th of February, all your children will be killed. If you like, you try. If you like, you try. Any army officer, I saw one in army jeep with one red star. We'll find your name. Any commander, I'm letting the whole world know. I want Britain to know. So when it happens, I'll be arrested. I want to be arrested. I want to go to a law court in England to argue this very matter. If they kill anybody in my father's compound on the 14th, I swear to God in heaven, every commander, everybody in charge of any platoon or division that fired that shot, your children will be dead. We will hunt them down wherever they are in the world. We will slaughter them in broad daylight. We will go to prison. Then you will see how painful it is to lose a child violently. Try us and see on the 14th. We're not going to drag this issue. We're not dragging it. Commissioner Okon, are you hearing me? I said, come to Isiama Faruku and kill somebody on the 14th of February 2020. I assure you before the end of this year, we'll find your children, your wife will murder all of them, will slaughter all of them. Put it on record, that's what I said. Mad people. Now you see madness. We have left people alone. We are not armed. We have not killed anybody. We have not. Look at the protest we go on. Has anybody ever reported that anything is missing? Do you know we are IPOB? Do you know why they call us Umuchineke? Do you know the reason why they call us that? Because our mission is spiritual. It is not carnal. It is not something that money can buy. We are not looking at material things. We are looking at the message from heaven that the children of God in Biafra must be free. That is what we are doing. Leave us alone to do our thing. Defeat us with the weight of your argument. You are busy. Every evil you see people, you shoot them dead. Oh, because we've been quiet. 14th of February 2020 is the Rubicon. Come to Afra and kill somebody. All of you, including Burata, will hunt your children and will kill them. You people are very good at saving recording. Save this one. Because when it happens, you will tell Britain or you will tell USA. When it comes in, arrest him. He did this. I will gladly submit myself for arrest. Let us go to court. And then the court will ask you what we're doing in this village. Mad people everywhere. Useless. Come to Isiama for the 14th and kill somebody. I swear to God, this sugar cab and I worship and I praise. I swear to him, from Buratai down, all your children will be killed. And I'm giving an order tonight. You must find where the children live, all of them. Every police commissioner, every commander, 82 division, airborne division in Igwacha, everywhere. Feed me their children, where they are schooling, where they are living, all of them, find them. Let us show them our own madness. Because they have shown us madness, we now show them double madness, that we're insane. When I said I'm insane for Biafra, they don't understand. Now I will show them how insane I am. Their children will be killed. I'm telling you this. Come to Afra and shoot on the 14th. You see what will happen to you. All of you, one after the other. Okon, I'm warning you. I am blessing you on warning. I'm letting, because before I
This is why Ohamadike is Ohamadike. This is why our leader is the hero of our freedom. This is why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the hero of our restoration. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a man that had the interests of his people at heart. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is committed towards our freedom. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a man that wants the best for the generation, even yet unborn. The terrorist Nigerian government saw this in him. They saw the commitment, the courage, the fearlessness, the tenacity, and the never say die spirit, never giving up spirit in him. They tried to bribe him. They tried intimidation tactics, it did not work. They tried humiliation tactics, it did not work. They now kidnapped him and tried to subdue his resolve. Is one in a million. They want to intimidate our leaders, but they can Biafran people, the Biafran nation. And that is why you saw what happened yesterday. Biafrans came out in mass for the solidarity march for his release. And we will continue to do so. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said that Nigeria will be destroyed. And today, there is no proud Nigerian anywhere. There is no proud Nigerian anywhere. Nobody can wholeheartedly come out and say, I'm a proud Nigerian anywhere. It doesn't exist. Because with the help of our leader, Nigeria was exposed to the core. The international world, the international community now know what Nigeria is all about. Nigeria is a terrorist state. Nigeria is what Iran is to the Middle East. In Africa, Nigeria is like the Iran of Africa, sponsoring terrorism, killings even of their own citizens. Their government are not people-oriented. Their government is a terrorist government. That is why they use intimidation and harassment to govern the people. But thank God we are not Nigerians, we are Biafrans. And that is why we are fighting to exit that evil contraption of God by the help of Biafran Republic government in exile, the government of the people, with the help of our attorney and lobbyists in Washington, D.C., with the commitment and the tenacity of our Prime Minister Ogechukwu Nkere, and the commitment of all the wonderful Brgie cabinet members, men and women of goodwill, who are assiduously committed, supporting this freedom, we are going to be free. I have a message for the Biafran Republic government in exile cabinet members, men and women. I have a very special message for all of you. I want all of you who have dedicated themselves for the freedom of their people to understand that the spirit of Biafra is behind you. To understand that the deads, the over 3.5 million Biafrans who were starved to death, who died, their spirits are reincarnated in each and every one of you. You are doing well all over the world. Wherever you are working, the spirit will continue to guide and protect you as you continue to support this freedom. Very, very important. That is the greatest gift you can give to Biafrans in the homeland, funding their liberation, because Biafrans in the homeland, most of them are confused because of one Nigeria. Because of what Nigeria fed them with. Because of the intimidation and harassment that they go through on a daily basis under Nigeria, most of them are afraid and skeptical to even talk about their freedom because they value their lives. more than their freedom. They value their stomach. Believe you me, you can never lack. The spirit of Biafra will always provide for you. The spirit of Biafra will make a way for you where there is no way. The gods and goddesses of Biafra land will continue to strengthen each and every one of you in your endeavors as you continue to earn money and resources that you would have used enough, but you are investing it into the freedom of over 70 million Biafrans. Believe you me, you will never lack, not even in the generation to come. And your names will be written in gold when Biafra is fully restored. I said, Ise, Ise, Ise. This is a prayer for all the men and women who are cabinet members of Brgie, who are supporting our freedom. And these same prayers will be extended to everyone who is one way or the other contributing, paying his BLT, Biafran Liberation Tax, contributing in one way or the other. The gods will also be part who are not contributing. You have yourself to blame. You are going to regret your actions and inactions against the freedom of your people, your race, because you don't understand that when Biafra is fully restored, most of the harassment and intimidation you are passing through in Nigeria, you are not going to pass through that. Government will be closer to you, whatever you do. Government will promote your business. Government will help you to grow. You won't have any limitation when Biafra is restored in Biafran territory. But under Nigeria, you have a lot. The earlier you start supporting this freedom, the better for each and every one of you. Very, very important. Listening to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, he opened our eyes. He made us to understand what Nigeria have in stock for us. He made us to understand that the politicians are not our friends. They are the enemies of the people. The politicians that you have, they are the enemies of the people. The government are the enemies of the people. More importantly, the Biafran people. The government of Nigeria is only the government to the north, to the Fulanese, and partly the Yorubas, because the Yorubas and the Fulanese are 5 and 6. But when it comes to the Biafrans, you are not part of Nigeria. You should understand that. With the atrocious activities of Nigeria against you, you don't need anybody to come and prove to you how Nigeria hates you. Nigeria hates you with passion. If you don't know how many people Nigeria have wasted, use the case of Chuba Okadipo, Dora Akunyele, Alex Ekwueme, and all of them. Use your cases and know that Nigeria do not mean well for you as a Biafran. So the earlier you understand that, the earlier you realize that, the better for you Biafrans who are doing well in Washington, D.C., who are doing well in Alaska, who are doing well in New York, who are doing well in Germany, in France, anywhere all around the world. Biafrans are doing exceptionally well, but to come to their freedom, they are backward. When you are enjoying your life, you enjoy alone. You forget about your freedom. You forget about your people. But when you die, it is the same people that you forgot will come and rescue and take your corpse home. You see the irony of life. I had a story. One of my friends,
I do something, I tell you what I'm going to do before I do it. I'm telling you now, come to Afara and kill somebody in my father's compound, my father and my mother's burial, your own children will die. You can't bury them. Those who are good at issuing quick notice, prepare to issue quick notice. If your soldiers come to Isiama Faruku to kill anybody, then you issue quick notice in the north. All those who are encouraging Fulani Janjaweed in our land to be doing what they are doing, all their impunity, killing, have we killed anybody? Have we gone to war with any? Have they not formed their Amoteku? Did we not support them? Even the Shege Dampanza, whatever rubbish they formed in the north, we are in support of it. Leave us alone.
Millionaires, when they are making money abroad, they forget about their people in the home. Only on their children. Their only focus. When they are making money abroad, their focus is their family, their cronies. Their concubines. Those of you that Chukwu Okike have blessed to join this freedom, support the Biafran Republic government in exile, support our Prime Minister Oge Chukwu Nkere. So Biafra will be restored, and very quickly as well. Very, very important.
Nonsense should stop. If you come to this, I'm telling you, I want the zoo papers to write it down, what I said on this very day, on this very podcast. If you come to Isiama Faruku and fire one shot, every commander, that commander that led them to say, shoot, you're not shooting a terrorist in the north. You've come to my village to shoot my own parents' funeral. You will bury. If you like, go and hide them in Saudi Arabia. We are there. Go and hide them. That time you will not have fun. Ask yourself this question. You think that Boko Haram, they are fanatics. In IPOB, we are madder than they are. Come and shoot. Then can result to war in a few weeks' time. Then you'll be issuing invitation to people. Come, I want to bury my children. They have been killed. That thing you want, you people want, you will see it. Including Ohaneze and the governors. That thing you want, you will see it. Since you people are women, you are so useless. You are so useless, you have no mouth. An idiot, an ill-educated bastard will come from the north into our land with military convoy and be killing people, and you keep quiet. All of you will see what will happen. Come to Isiama Faruku and shoot, and you will see what will happen to you. We're not going after just only your children. So you know what it means to buy caskets. You know what it means to weep. Your names will be wiped off from the face of this earth. Your name will no longer exist. Come and try us then, and you will see. Before, we've left, we go to pray in the field, you come and you kill us, you go. We go somewhere, we kill us, we go. In my own father's compound, my father's burial, my mother's burial, you want to come and kill people in my compound? Come, we are waiting for you. Mad people everywhere. Have you heard people before complain that we abducted people, that we killed anyone? We are preaching the gospel of peace and Biafra restoration. You cannot handle it because of your waywardness, your backwardness, your illiteracy, and your savagery. You do not understand what is called public discourse. You don't understand it. You cannot defeat us in a debate. That is why anywhere you say, yeah, they're terrorists. We filed an appeal for nearly 3 years now. You are there dribbling and deceiving yourselves after obtaining ex parte motion. Shameless zoo, shameless country run by idiots, left, right, and center. Mad people everywhere. Is it only us who are complaining? I keep saying this. My deputy tells me all the time, don't say it, don't say it. I'm sure now he'll be wondering why am I saying this out in the open. Deputy will tell me, Ucheme, for my deputy. Very good man he is anyway, by the way. Don't say it. Don't say that Buhari is dead. Listen, Buhari is dead. It's Jubril who is there. It is the message. It is the truth. I must preach the truth. The world may not want to hear it, but I am under instruction that as long as I'm behind this microphone, the truth must be spoken. The truth must be preached. And that is precisely what we are doing. Don't take my word for it. Some of you ignorantly and foolishly in the zoo. Look at that young man they sent to Ethiopia. They say he's Buhari. Let me tell you why I despise the way black people reason in Africa. I am the #1 self-critical person. I criticize myself, and myself included. Let me tell you why I lost respect for black people. 2 things. You see, 1914, so-called creation of Nigeria in 1914, and Jubril al-Sudani. Those 2 things made me realize the depth of the stupidity of your average Nigerian, regardless of how many degrees you have. Now, ask yourself this question. If the real Buhari were to be alive, what would Aisha Buhari be doing saying things are getting out of hand in Nigeria? I can't understand. Where we come from, there's an adage, you know, when we are small, our parents, they will raise us with proverbs and adage to make you, they tell you fairy tales, you know, regarding tortoise and frog and all the rest of it, so that you have some sense. You with your brain, you can reason. It's called discernment. You can discern. You can read between the lines. You're telling me in a country full of professors, about 9.8 million professors in the zoo, the wife of a so-called president is coming out and telling you things are getting out of hand. This happened this happened in Nigeria, and all of you are quiet. Everything is normal. And I'm asking you, if Melania Trump will come out and say that things are getting out of hand in America, what do you think will happen to the husband? Huh? His poll rating will dive down immediately. He will be removed from office. This is the wife of your so-called president. A president with without makeup, it looks like a 42-year-old. Look at his hands. One day his nose is big, the next day his nose is small. All of you are blind. Some journalists even can bring out that.
You know, our leader, Mazin Nandikani, is exceptional. Please, if you want to join me on the studio, click the link and join me on the studio and make your contribution. Your contribution based on what you saw that is happening in Nigeria, the prophecies of our leader for a very long time, and as well as the 1 million march yesterday, the successful outing yesterday. You can make your contribution to that. Don't only be a listener. Make the part of contribution. Make your contribution about what you see playing out in the evil contraption called Nigeria. Because our leader, Mazin Nandikano, said this a very long time. 15 years ago, 10 years ago, a lot of prophecies of our leader that is now manifesting were made years and years back. That is to tell you that our leader, in the opening statement, you heard what our leader said, that he gets his message from heaven direct. In other words, he's a messenger from Okike himself. And that is why you can see how accurate his predictions, you can see how accurate his prophecies have become. So please join us on the studio and make your contribution. Very, very important. As we continue to listen to the hero of our freedom, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Very, 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 very important. We appreciate Okike for giving us Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We appreciate Okike for giving us a man like him. And we are so proud that we have him as our leader.
That time they started with the plastic surgery on his nose. That one, his nose is so flat. I said, this is Buhari. And I look at and I say, God, why did you mix me? Go to teach like a with them there. Who are these people? Who are these people that cannot reason? Why am I amongst them? I'm telling you the truth. Why I ask myself, God, why am I amongst these people who cannot reason? Don't you have another use for me? Can't you ask me to do something else? Why am I with people who cannot reason? Aisha is saying things are getting out of hand in Nigeria, and people are so sheepishly blind that they cannot put one and one together to give them two. Very, very sad indeed. But we are here to educate them. We are here to educate them. Some of you don't know why Trump banned some people from the zoo from entering USA. It's because of their track record of terrorism. Abdul Muttalib, is he from where? Is he not Fulani boy from the north? The shoe bomber. They want to go and bomb America. And I'm saying to Britain, have you ever got any Biafran in a terrorist act before? I keep asking Britain, why do you have this hatred? Where did this hatred come from for Biafra? I keep asking Britain this question all the time. What is the hatred? We believe in, you brought Christianity. Some of us believe in, some of our people believe in the Jesus Christ you gave them. We even have an Anglican church. My parents' body will be taken to Anglican church, St. Andrews. He's even asking St. Andrews in Isiama Farouk. Yet you hate, oh my God, doesn't make any sense to me. There's something wrong somewhere. You brought Christianity to us. You told us about all these things, weird and wonderful things in the New Testament. But you wanted to know, they asked you not to preach Christianity, to accept Quran. You did. And when you were living, you gave rulership to those with the Quran. But Britain is supposedly a Christian country. People are dying. Prince Charles could not make it to Jos. They said it's unsafe. He ran back to the UK. That is the mess you created. But the most annoying thing is that those who are living in the mess, those who are living in the iniquity, those who are living in the mire, in the darkness of poverty and deprivation, they themselves cannot see it. Which always leads me to wonder, are these human beings with brain in their skull? That is why they cannot debate me. They can't debate me. They know they cannot last. I'm telling you, they cannot last for 2 minutes. They'll be vaporized. They can't, because they have no brain. They are animals in a zoo. They are called Nigerians. They cannot reason. There is war going on in the north, soldiers being killed, helicopters shot down, your mothers and your children in IDP camps, but your army is in my village patrolling. And you tell me that they are normal. You tell me that they have common sense. I want to see if I can really find that very, I wouldn't call it prediction, because it's a message I give to the world. If you listen to it, you'll be saved. If you listen to it, you will be saved. They said our satellite is down. They said, of course they will stop it. That's what they always do. Our satellite is down. They fight us everywhere, but are we not winning? They fight us, are we not winning? Do we care really?
Mazio Farmer should go and check, please get hold of him. They said our satellite is down. They said our satellite is down. Our satellite is down.
You know, the irony of all these things is that those who our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu thought that they are fighting the freedom with him are actually against him. Most of the people that our leader mentioned, in fact, all the DOS members that our leader mentioned their names here are on the other side. They are against our leader. They are against what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu stand for. They have taken political solution as their remedy for freedom. And once you take political solution, you have emerged with one Nigeria. So this broadcast was an eye-opener to a lot of Biafrans who are in the Biafran Republic government in exile today. For you to understand that all those that you saw years back that were shouting Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they are IPOB this, they are DOS this, members of the Directorate of Saboteurs this, all of them have aligned with one Nigeria. We are the only people standing strong for our freedom. And all these people that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu mentioned, they are not part and parcel of Brgie. They are part and parcel of Nigeria. They are the one Nigerians that are now hiding their faces in shame. So when you hear our leader talk about them, I want you to remember that this broadcast was made years back. So I'm going to fast forward the broadcast.
Doing, but we are preaching this very gospel. This is Radio Biafra. We are live and we are direct. Unfortunately, those in Igbo in 2015, by now your lives should have been better. You will now sit around the table and discuss and negotiate and find out the best way to cohabit. That's for those of you interested in one Nigeria. But you don't listen because you don't reason. Even when you do listen, one ear and it goes out the other. It is now that PDP is telling them to step down. But we warned you, I warned you. Once they removed Onogen, that they were going to be boy that ran to Kafrati or whoever to prescribe IPOB. Training Equipment and Protection Team, STTEP, headed by Ibn Balo, to come and fight their war for them in the zoo called Nigeria, because they cannot fight. They have never fought before and they can never fight. That is why they go about looking for alliances, because the Nigerian army is only good at killing civilians. That is what they are good at. Nothing more, nothing less. Which one are we going to mention? Which one are we going to leave? Which one, I say?
So somebody should confirm that assertion, whether it is right or wrong, whether it is true or false. When our leader said that the Nigerian army and police are only good at killing civilians, they were only trained to kill civilians. They were not trained to fight insurgents. They were not trained to fight ISIS, Boko Haram. No, they are only trained to fight the people that they are supposed to protect. That is why you saw them at Aba High School. They were setting their guns as if they are fighting war. And the people they are setting their guns with only have flags. The people have no arms. They only have flags. But you see how they were setting like they were in a battle. And they open fire on unarmed civilians. So when our leader said they are only good at killing civilians, you know that our leader is not lying, because it has happened times and times without number. So it is truth. The Nigerian government, their soldiers, their police, the armed security agencies, they are only trained to fight civilians, kill unarmed civilians. But once you have what they have, they will respect you, and they run away from you. So it's a very good assertion. They are only trying to fight the civilian population.
It's very, very sad indeed. Very, very sad indeed. This is Radio Biafra. We are live and we are very, very direct. They said that the North is now a theater of violence, not by me. I didn't say it. This man, the Satan himself at the epicenter of the cabal in the North, he has seen that what we are preaching is true. I'll repeat what he said, so people will say it's coming from me. He accused Tanko Yakasai and the other one, I've forgotten his name, Junaid Mohammed. They are the northern elites. Elite over Al-Majiri, elite over Babiala, elite over impoverished beggars. You say you are an elite. Where is elitism? How have you improved the lives of your people? You're elite and you're still moving cattle from place to place, destroying people's crops and their farms. And you're elite. We are the elite. What useless elite in the North? Let me repeat what the Sultan said. Sultan accused the Northern elites of lacking sense of honesty, implementation, and qualities to organize a society that works for all. In other words, all of you that claim, including Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that claim you put Buhari and now Jubril in power, you are all very foolish. That's what Sultan is saying. Because they lack the capacity. He is saying that they lack the capacity to organize a society. They do not have the capacity to organize a society. That is what the Sultan of Sokoto said, the head of the feudal system in the North. Now you believe me, won't you? When I say something next time, you believe me. Because as I said, eventually everything I say comes to pass. People will begin to open their eyes and their ears to receive this very gospel of redemption. Elite. It's elite. Elite for what? Are you people, what is your elitism for? If you cannot positively impact the lives of those who are on the streets, those who are poor, those who are less privileged, those who are not as educated as you are. If at all you claim you're educated. We are the elite, they are the Second Republic senator, Third Republic, nonsense. How have your Second Republic rubbish impacted on the lives of the people who are carrying bombs today, kidnapping people, slaughtering and raping at will? You claim you're elite. You people are the ones that the Sultan is referring to. You people are the problem. You have everything, but no common sense. No common sense. And let me tell you why they have no common sense. In the midst of the condemnation of the Sultan of Sokoto, you know what they did? They all rallied around and said, oh, we are the Arewa Constitutive Forum. We are the Northern Elders. We declare support for Buhari and service chiefs. That is the Nigeria you're in. I remember when they said that Jonathan wasn't fighting corruption very well, even Edwin Clark came out to condemn good luck Jonathan. But I wish the South can learn something from this. So to the North, it doesn't matter what they do in office, their own is their own. But you are busy from the South, be you Biafran or be you Duduwa, the same that you're busy in the South, trying to be holier than thou, you want to be objective. But those you're dealing with don't know the meaning of objectivity. They don't understand it. Insofar as the stark failure of Nigeria is apparent for the whole world to see, they still went there and felt that Jubril is under siege. Of course, they called him Buhari and the service chiefs because people were calling for their resignation. They went to Asarok to say, we are behind you. Continue with your incompetence and your failures. Continue patrolling Isama Farouk instead of going to the north to go and clear the bandits on the highway. That is Nigeria for you. That is the zoo for you. And that is why the zoo must fall. Nigeria is an abomination before God. Nigeria is a stain on the continent of Africa. Nigeria is a blight on the human race. If you don't know, you know it today. The level of stupidity prevalent in Nigeria is enough to sink any advanced civilization. What am I saying? If you pack all Nigerians and take them to America and move Americans over to Nigeria, America will sink in less than 10 years. You recognize it. That is the extent and the level of stupidity they harbor within themselves. Or should I say within their brain? Very, very sad indeed. Very, very sad indeed. And what, they know how to defend themselves. I admire them at least in that regard. Even Al-Mustafa, that works with Wazirike's Masop, he said that Abacha didn't steal any money. You see the way you see how they roll. You see the way they roll. He said Abacha never stole any money, that it was others that stole money, not Abacha. Can you believe that? Can anyone believe that? Can anyone believe that? It wasn't Abacha that stole money, it was those before Abacha stole money. And some of you believe him. That is how they fight for themselves. That is how they defend themselves. That is how they make a mockery of everybody. That is how they make a mockery of everybody. But some of you won't understand it, will you? Because you want your one Nigeria. You think if Nigeria breaks up, you won't get oil. I've said it many times. And I want to remind everybody that every component part of Nigeria, as presently constituted, will receive oil and gas for free from Biafra land. So it's not about oil. When we publish our guiding document, when we publish our testament, you will see all of it inside it. Guaranteed to be supervised by the United Nations and 5 other countries. So don't worry about that. You get your oil. Just leave us alone. It's not about our oil and gas. It's about freedom. That's what we're fighting for. Absolute freedom. It is not that some of you don't know you're selling oil and gas to China. You're still going to China to go and borrow money. Does that make any sense to anybody? You sell oil and gas to China, you still go to China to go and borrow money. Do you know how much they have borrowed on your head? This very incompetent Fulani regime, you will not know until you're hit with a very heavy. The day the Chinese will come and take over your forest in your village, then you realize that the mess that the Janja would have put you in. You see, Jubril, some of you are, Buhari went to what was the last place he went to? He went to London, to Buckingham Palace. When asked to remove his cap, he ran away. I think today he's in Addis Ababa. That is the mess that some of you don't understand. You're in. They are borrowing money every blessed day. One day they will come and take over your ancestral lands. You start cursing China. China, you did this to her. You did it to yourself. Your hopelessness allowed an impostor from Sudan to be answering your president. Your idiocy made it possible for him to go back the second time. You have yourself to blame. Let the Chinese finish with the coronavirus. They're coming after all of you, your land and your properties. Then you regret it. Do you know how much you have borrowed from them? Do you know how much this very incompetent Fulani regime have borrowed from China? Some of you have no idea. You're sheepishly moving about every day, saying, oh, I'm a Nigerian. Inside you and outside you, you are a property of the Chinese state, courtesy of Abaki Ariza Asorok, Fulani regime. It's not from me, you got it from me, you got it from Sultan of Sokoto, that they cannot organize any society. The Sultan said it, they cannot. These are the people, your Excellency, the President, Mr. President. I feel sorry for you people. They keep borrowing from China. They can never grow their own. They can never ever grow their own. They always go and borrow from other people. The latest one is 17 billion. The federal government on Tuesday explained why it decided to approach the China Exim Bank for a $17 billion loan. And them the oil money. Do you know the funniest thing? All the people occupying NNPC, all the oil portfolios, they're all from the north. And I can't hear the so-called Niger Delta complaining. You know, some of them, their own idiocy is even worse than average Nigerian. Their own stupidity is immeasurable. Who are the people in charge of all the oil sector areas you have in the zoo? All Fulani, NMPC, Ministry of Petroleum. Everywhere you have them. No wonder all the sales coming from the shipment of oil and gas, none is hitting the treasury. If they are getting money from oil and gas, why would they be borrowing 17 billion from China? 17 billion. And you ask yourself, how are they going to pay back? Let me hear any of you complain against China when they come for you. Then you will know something. In the next, is it? We are direct. Go to nothing. Marry 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, and as well in most other Muslim countries. Now, those in the South believe in one man, one wife. At least the modernists, those who came after 1960. But in the same country, in the North, we have people marrying 4, 5, 6, 8, and you are in this operating under law, under one constitution. Yet you have diverse marriage laws, that a man brought the 4 wives, chambers, House of Reps, House of Representatives, boasting that he has 27 children. Now you understand the mess you're in. I will ask you again, tell me one country where it is the law, or should I say the accepted norm, where a part of the country believes that marrying 1 wife is good, and another part believes that marrying 4 wives is good. That means that there is a dichotomy in Nigeria that can never, ever be reconciled. So anybody telling you about unity, moving together, developing the country together, is not your friend. You cannot develop a country together where some people are marrying 1 wife, giving birth to 2 or 3 kids, whereas some other people are having 4, 5, 6 wives, giving birth to 27 children. Is that fair? And if you agree that it is not fair, then how can we be in the same country together? Let us to even consider it for a moment. Marrying the 2 laws together. one is monogamy, one is polygamy in the north. How do you reconcile the two? There are irreconcilable differences. That is what we've been preaching from day one, that we have so much divergence in our value system that we cannot be one nation. It is impossible. It is impossible. Others believe in appointing a Sharia student or a Sharia law graduate into the position of a justice. We don't believe in it. We believe that somebody who has been schooled through common law should be a chief justice. How do you reconcile the two? How? I don't understand. How do you reconcile it? How would you like a Sharia judge to preside over your case? He's using Sharia legal technicalities and terms of reference to determine, or to settle a dispute or a case that was either committed or commissioned under a common law system. How does that work? So you're telling me now you can go and take a Grand Qadi from Saudi Arabia and take him to Minneapolis and say, send him to the 6th Circuit Court to go and preside. That's what it means. It's like going to Afghanistan. You bring a mullah from Afghanistan. You say to the mullah, please, Mullah Omar, come to New York and become a district judge in New York. Is that going to work? I want people to, these UG black people, to reason for once. Try and reason. What would a Sharia judge be doing in a are you telling me that Britain that gave us common law system, that Britain can now go to maybe Oman and pick up somebody from there and say this is a Sharia judge, is schooled in Quran, to come to the Old Bailey to preside over a case? It will never happen. That's what is happening in Nigeria. We don't hate anybody, but our value, the way we are as a people, we cannot mix. It's not possible. We can't. It's impossible. You cannot be having 27 children in the north with 4 wives, and you expect us in the south to have 1 wife. If we are lucky, we have 2 or 3 kids. It doesn't work that way. It just doesn't work that way. There is something unfair about it. There is something unjust about Nigeria as a nation. And that is why people must be allowed to go their separate ways. But let me give you an example. Had all of you boycotted 2015 general elections as we were pleading and begging from the beginning, even the last one that happened last year, by now, this man will not be boasting of his 4 wives and 27 children. Because when you get around the table and ask them, please convince me why I should be a Nigerian, he will tell you, I have 4 wives and 27. You tell him, I only have 1 wife and 2 kids. Do you think it's fair? He will be the one to open his mouth and tell you it is not fair. You now ask him, do you think we can be in the same country together? He may say yes. It doesn't matter. We're in the north, you're in the east. You can do whatever you like. Then you ask him again, do you think it would be right for us to bring a chief justice from the south who is a Christian, schooled in common law system, to come and become an appeal judge in the Sharia appeal court you have in the north? And watch his face, how he will react. He will tell you no. They wouldn't want you to take a Christian judge schooled in common law to the north to go and preside over a Sharia court. Never. But they can bring Sharia judge to preside over a common law legal system. Is that fair? I want people to reason. Is that fair? Now you see why we don't want one Nigeria. Anyway, I'm waiting for them in a debate. I'm not giving them expo. I'm going to win a debate so that we can completely eradicate them from the face of this very earth. We can eradicate them from the face of this very earth. Somebody was complaining. These are the people moving soldiers. It's IPOB. IPOB is giving us problem. But hear what they have to say. Federal government said the world has abandoned Nigeria. The world has abandoned them. So when we told you that we would destroy the zoo with the truth, you didn't believe us. I said I would destroy Nigeria with truth, nothing more, no arms, unless they come to my village to come and shoot. If they shoot in my village, believe you me, their children will be in serious trouble, wherever they are. We will find them. so that their father can bury them the same way they keep making us to bury people all the time. Let them try it and see how enjoyable it is to bury a loved one. Instead of them to be remorseful for causing the death of my father and my mother, all they're saying is that we'll come and start shooting at people attending burial. Come and shoot. Our CCTV is there live, relating to the whole world, relating to British Foreign Office, so that when it starts, they won't deny it. It will be relayed live to the top governments of the world, and to CNN and to BBC, so that when it starts happening when our own madness will start, they won't go back to their propaganda. It's a secession. They are trying to secede. Secede from who? Who were we before you came? How can I secede from something I did not agree to? Who were we before you came and merged us together? It's because we are Africans, we are foolish, we are hopeless, we don't know anything. That was why we accepted that nonsense in the first place. No reason. Did Japan agree? When did Japan not kick you out? Did Japan not keep the Dutch out when they tried their useless nonsense? Amalgamate your father to your mother. Mad people everywhere. But you Africans, what do you have in your brain? Nothing. You accept every rubbish that goes, every nonsense that goes, you accept. If you can even find a way of importing coronavirus, you will. I preach the truth here on radio. We are live and we are direct. The time now is approaching. It's 27 minutes past the top of the hour, wherever you are on the face of this very earth. I wrote something which I totally and completely agree with. And with permission from him, I'm going to read this out, because I agree with it in total, completely and totally. We want to let the world know that we IPOB, if you don't do this, we'll go. Oduduwa is now saying it. Even some people are now saying it from Biafra land across the whole place. But everyone wants to be free. Who started it? IPOB. You may not agree in public, but when you go into the quiet of your home, you go into the bedroom, you accept, you acknowledge. It is IPOB that started this whole thing. You acknowledge. Everyone came at us with all manner of dissenting argument, but today an overwhelming majority has bought the idea of that what IPOB is doing is correct. We made them aware. The Amoteku you have in Yoruba land is a direct product of IPOB agitation. Our call on this platform for Yoruba to rise up every blessed day, rise up and do something. You cannot keep supporting evil forever and ever. Do something for us, and they have done it, and we support them for it. Who started they were quoting Danjuma. Danjuma said, defend yourself before they kill you. Who started it? We did. I was in the USA. I told World Igbo Congress, give us arms because they are coming. I've seen them, they are coming. Have they not come? Have they not come? Have you not noticed how fewer and fewer people are now coming out to challenge what Nnamdi Kanu says? Have you noticed it? Because it's the truth. We don't hate anybody. We don't. It is the truth. The whole world now knows that it is the truth. All this clamor, Amoteku, Shege Dambanza in the north, whatever they call it. Did we not start it? We told you that the center cannot hold that this zoo will fall. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter how many influential publications you bribe abroad. It doesn't matter how powerful your lobbyists are in Washington. It doesn't matter how much money you give to the British High Commissioner to Nigeria. It doesn't matter. The zoo must fall. And they know it's going to fall. That's why they are running over the place. Let's go and see if we can disrupt the burial of his parents. They says nothing pains him. Let's see if we can carry the corpse. Can you imagine what they're planning? That they'll come and take the corpse of my mom and my dad, since nothing affects me, since this Biafra is burning within me. The desire for Biafra is so much that I don't feel any pain. That's what Alamajid is saying. So you does he even heard this before? In Asoro, that is what Abakari is saying. That my passion for Biafra is so high, is so much that nothing They know nothing can stop me, nothing. Nobody, one of a woman can. So why don't we go and abduct the dead bodies of the mother and the father? Let's see if he will not be pained. That's what they're planning. That's why they're all over the place. But we're waiting for them. That the world will bear us witness. They have prepared their lies, and I'm sure the British High Commissioner have prepared all their lies. Oh, they came there. There was a clash. I'm sure Yoruba newspapers have prepared their lies. Oh, there was a clash. There is a clash going on. There is a clash. I'm in my house, burying my parents, and you came to my house and telling me there's a clash. Thunder will fire you and fire you, the rest of the family. I'm in my house burying my parents, and you're bringing your arms, your guns from Sambisa forest to my house to cause trouble. And you're telling me there's a clash. Then you must have descended from the lineage of Lucifer. There will be no clash that day. It is them looking for our trouble so that the world may know. I know what they do. I know that channels TV, they have prepared. Oh, there was a clash. The army was going. They were throwing stones. As the army was passing, they started throwing stones. And the army tried to calm them down. And they said no. And they opened fire. There was a clash. We know all your headlines. We know what you're going to do. We know you very well because you're predictable. You are so foolish. You are driven by the ignorance of the fallen. You know nothing. It's only Britain defending you because of British hatred for Biafra. Because Britain knows that Biafra is the shining light of Africa. They know it. Once Biafra comes, it will have the same effect that Japan had in Southeast Asia. They don't want Biafra to come because once Biafra comes, Africa is free. You think they're stupid? They know. So then I don't look at Janjaweed Alamajidi as holding me. It's not them holding me. I know the powers that are stopping Biafra. But you will deal with them. You watch and see what is going to happen. Watch and see what is going to happen. Let me also remind them, I said this during the last broadcast, that look at the state of Israel. Throughout history, God will use nations to punish Israel. And after that, those nations will suffer. Go and check it very well. It's in the Bible. For those of you that read the scriptures, go and check it very, very well. We are the first to start the regional security outfit. IPOB started with we are the first. Everything, we are number one. They say it's the way we ride, the way we boast. Why won't we boast? We are special. You know what is IPOB? Do you think IPOB is for riffraffs? Remember the names they used to call us? Miscreant, Gota, Tout, Biafra. All those names are gone, isn't it? Because when they go back and they listen to this broadcast, they will say, oh my goodness, these people, they saw foul. When they'll come out, they'll be pretending they don't know. Of course, we know they listen. And they do what we ask them to do because we stand on the truth. History has shown, as I have wrote, history have shown repeatedly that only IPOB is proactive. Only, I said only. Forget it, only IPOB. That is why we would not abandon anybody. We are not fighting for Biafra just to liberate Biafra land alone. No, is to set everybody free. I'm telling you the truth. Set everybody free. Set everybody free. People begin to decide if Biafra, this is what binds us together, this, let's agree, and they move on. That is how civilized, that is how human beings form a nation. That is how countries are created, or through outright conquest. Not somebody coming from, they drink tea, they say, oh, these are the elites when they drank tea with Queen Elizabeth, and they danced with Queen Elizabeth, and they went to become idiots. They came back and they are now independent. What utter garbage. Monkeys jumping from one tree to the other. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. We have defeated the zoo. Those they called miscreants. We are more intellectual than them, more intelligent than them, all of them combined. I've said this to people before. Forget all this nonsense. Put a microphone in their mouth, live interview, and say,
answer this question. Don't allow them to go back to the library and be copying speeches made by a great. That's what you see. This please.
so that he can forget about Biafra. But we can never forget about Biafra. Biafra is our destination. And we are winning. We are only calling on Biafrans to come together and support their freedom. Freedom of our nation, freedom of our people, so that we can be able to govern ourselves, put up a government that is people-oriented. So I appreciate you, Biafrans, who join me in today's broadcast. Continue to support our freedom, continue to support our leaders. More importantly, continue to support our Prime Minister, Ogechukwu Nkere, under the Biafran Republic government in exile. Our freedom is very, very close. A little push, and we will be free as a people. I want to appreciate my fellow comrades at the Biafran Republic government in exile media, who are doing exceptionally well in making sure that the information that our people need to have, that information dissemination is on top gear. The Brgie media, I salute every one of you. The Brgie cabinet members, I appreciate every one of you. Our information minister, the Okokondem of our time, Maazi Soni Akbarawa, greetings. You are so exceptional. We thank you for what you are doing for the Biafran people. Our COS, Maazi Amobi, greetings. We appreciate your good works. Our Prime Minister, His Excellency Honorable Ogechukwu Nkere, greetings. We see your handwork in Washington, D.C. Our lobbyist, Maazi Elias, greetings. We appreciate you. Our attorney, greetings. We salute you, Maazi Dabere, and our Biafran Defense Forces, under the leadership of Igwe Butuzo, Triple General. We appreciate you. Continue to defend the land of your ancestors. Biafrans, make sure you increase your support for our freedom. Our freedom is near. Please, if you have not subscribed to my channel, do well and subscribe so that anytime you'll get a notification from me. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Biafrans. And goodbye from here.